Good morning, boys and girls. It's been quite a while since I've done a story for you, so I'm going to do one today from my office. And the book today is called Who Will I Be? And the author is Abby Huntsman. The pictures, the illustrator is Joanne Lou Vreithoff. So the question is, who will I be? And as we look at the front cover, you can see there's a young girl and a dog, and they're sitting on the front steps. And it looks like it's spring or summertime. I'm making that guess because we have all this green grass right here, and the bushes are all green. All the leaves are on them right now. If you look outside, they're starting to get that way here, but not quite. So we're on our way because we're in spring. So that's why I'm guessing that according to this, it's summertime. So Abby Huntsman, who will I be? All right, boys and girls, so this is the title page, Abby Huntsman, who will I be? I'm trying to get the glare off of it for you because you can see, so she's thinking about what are some jobs that she could be when she grows up. So we have all different kinds of people and the jobs that they do in this picture. So it looks like we have a crossing guard, and I think we have a policeman. Here we have a doctor, possibly a nurse. She looks like a teacher. He looks like a cook or a baker, and this person looks like a gardener. And this one looks like he does construction. She might be a lawyer. And think about it. Who would you want to be when you grow up, boys and girls? Oh, so here we are. It is in a classroom right now. We can tell that because there's all these students sitting at their desks. And she is the teacher. And it says, "Who do you want to be when you grow up?" asked Isabel's teacher. So it's something that you need to think about. Who do you want to be when you grow up, boys and girls? Everyone around Isabel waved their hands in the air. They all had an answer. "I want to be a businesswoman, basketball player, artist." "How about you, Isabel?" Ms. Livingston asked. "I don't know," she said, and that bothered her. It bothered Isabel during lunch, during music class, and during gym. It was still bothering her when her dad picked her up after school. "I don't know who I want to be when I grow up," Isabel told her dad. "Well," her dad said, "what makes you happy?" And that is actually a very good question that her dad just asked her. What makes you happy? Teaching is something that makes Miss Szymanski very happy. I miss your faces, boys and girls, very, very much. So this has been very difficult for all of your teachers, not being able to see you every day and see how you're growing and how much you're learning. So the question is, what makes you happy? And that is something to think about as you think about what you want to be when you grow up. "Last week, I went to the pool with Kayla," Isabel said. "That made me happy." "And selling cookies at the charity bake sale was fun." Isabel thought of another thing. "We found that man's pet parrot, remember? It made me happy that we helped him." Oh, see, there's the parrot in the tree. "Maybe you want to be someone who helps people then," her dad suggested. "Helper isn't a job, Dad," Isabel replied. "Of course it is," her dad said. "Lots of jobs are all about helping to make the world a better place." Isabel wasn't too sure. "Let's take the long way home," Isabel's dad said. "I want to show you some people who have jobs helping others." And think about it, boys and girls. Who are people who help you or who have helped you in your life? You might be surprised at some of the answers that you come up with. "We'll start right here at your school," Isabel's dad said. "Who do you see?" "I see my teacher," said Isabel, "and I see the crossing guard." "Your teacher helps you learn, and the crossing guard helps you stay safe," said Isabel's dad. Isabel had never thought of it that way. Let's see who else we can find, said Isabel's dad. A man in a white coat walking a dog gave Isabel a friendly wave. He's a veterinarian, Isabel's dad told her. He helps people by making their pets feel better. Now think about it, boys and girls. If you've had a sick pet and you've had to take your pet to the vet to get some medicine, you know how important that job is. And it's a very, very difficult one, but worthwhile the way that they can help families and their pets. Some people help their town by joining the police force, or they help their whole country by joining the military, Isabel's dad told her. They help by keeping us safe, Isabel said. So here we have a soldier. And yes, boys and girls, the soldier's job is to help protect our whole country, but also a lot of times they do try to help people all over the world and try to keep them safe and to keep our country safe. So Miss Szymanski's family and her fiance were all in the various branches of the military. My dad was in the Air Force. My oldest brother, Tony, he was in the Marines. My brother, Jeffrey, he was in the Navy. And my fiance, Jason, he was in the Army. So I'm very proud of our family and how they have helped serve our country. Now here it says, Isabel and her dad overheard the policeman ask an older woman, "May I walk you to the library, man?" So you can see here we have this old woman. She's got a cane, so she needs some help being able to walk. And he's being very gentlemanly and is offering to help her to get there safely. "Let's stop at the library, Isabel," said her dad. "Hi," whispered the librarian. "Do you need help finding a book? I could also sign you up for our book club." "Yes, thank you," Isabel whispered. "Happy to help," the librarian whispered back. So on this page, as I read it, because they're inside the library, I was using a whispery voice, boys and girls. So I did that because if you remember, when you're in the library, other people are reading and doing work. So some people are on the computers. So it's important to keep your voice down and to use a whispery voice. "Let's go to the park, Dad," said Isabel. "Can you spot the helpers here?" Isabel's dad asked her. Isabel looked around. She saw an activist asking those passing by to sign a petition. So this is somebody who's out in the community and they believe that they need help trying to either change a law or to do something to help people stay safe, maybe bring people's attention to something that they didn't know was going on in their community. So there are a lot of people out there who do these kinds of things. She saw a gardener in a city uniform, and she saw the garbage man, Isabel exclaimed. "He's helping by keeping our city clean and beautiful." There really were helpers everywhere. Next, Isabel and her dad passed a church. The pastor was out front. "What's your favorite thing about your job?" Isabel asked him. "Helping other people," he said. So here he is. He's in front of the church. Here's the pastor or the priest. He could even be like an imam or somebody who is works in a synagogue or a temple. He right now is cleaning up outside in front of his church because he wants to keep it beautiful. But people a lot of times will go to religious leaders and talk to them about their problems. Maybe they need help with something. And they try to help them as best they can and to make them feel better. On this page, it says, "I also like volunteering at the soup kitchen next door," he added. "Can we help with that too?" Isabel asked. So here we see, here is the priest or the preacher, the pastor, and he is at the soup kitchen. So people who maybe don't have enough food at their homes, sometimes will go to these places and they will get food there. They will be given food. They'll make a meal for them. And it helps people a lot. They worked at the soup kitchen until Isabel's dad's phone buzzed. "Want to go meet Mom at her office?" Isabel's dad asked. On the way, a reporter was interviewing a fireman who'd rescued a kitten. Journalists make sure we know what's happening, Isabel's dad said. A journalist, boys and girls, is somebody who works for the news. Frequently, you'll see journalists or the newspaper, magazines, things that give you information about what's going on in our world. So this word journalists, think about if you watch the news at home with your parents to know what's going on in our community. They are TV news journalists. That's what their job is, to tell us what's going on. You should take that cat to a veterinarian in case it's hurt, Isabel told the fireman. There's one right down the street. So now she's trying to be a helper by telling the fireman, hey, go see if that cat needs some help. She's trying to be a helper too. Soon, Isabel and her dad arrived to meet her mom. Mom! Isabel yelled and ran to hug her. Isabel's mom worked at the mayor's office because Isabel's mom was the mayor. Now, this is something I know a little bit about because Miss Szymanski's brother, Jeffrey, was the mayor of Lackawanna until this past year. And it was a job that he worked very, very hard at. And we do, in Lackawanna, you do have another female mayor, Mayor Iafallo, who's trying to do her best during this difficult time we all are. So Isabel's mom is the mayor. We're going to learn about this. I'm learning all about service, Isabel said. Do you help people? I do, her mom said. My job is to help the people of this city by listening to them and passing laws to make their lives better. Isabel had a lot to think about. There were so many different ways of helping people and so many different jobs to choose from. And we can see, so we have our veterinarian, the fireman, the librarian, the police officer, her mom, the mayor. She's a politician. They are elected. Their job is they have to have people vote for them to get that job. Here we have the pastor, and we have the garbage man, and we have the activist, the person trying to get them to sign petitions. So these are some of the things going around her head that she's trying to decide. I still don't know who I want to be when I grow up, she told her dad, but I know one thing. I want to be a helper. I have to admit, boys and girls, that being a helper, teaching you and being in our school is something that I love it. I love my job of being a teacher. And so I guess my best advice to you, boys and girls, is just find a job that you're going to really love. I'm not saying it's not always going to be easy. I'm not saying that every day you're going to want to do it. Some days you just want to kind of chill out. That's normal. But find a job that you're going to love, and then you'll be pretty happy when you're doing it. So Miss Szymanski misses you very much, and I hope to see you soon.